I used to have this really twisted understanding of what the Bible has to say about tithes and offerings and how all of that works. Because, see, I grew up in the South where everybody goes to church and you just follow the rules that the Bible says, and that's basically all there is to it. And one of the rules is that you tithe. That's what you do. You give 10% of your income every single time to God, otherwise you're robbing God. That was kind of how it was presented. And of course, I didn't want to rob God, so I started tithing every time, religiously. And I didn't really understand why I was doing it, other than you receive the blessings of God when you tithe. And so whenever I would have something good happen in my life, I started to have people point out to me like, oh, it's probably because you tithed. You know, that's somehow connected, that you're tithing and so you're getting these blessings from God. And that's not inherently wrong, but the way that my brain interpreted that was, if you want God to take care of you, then you have to pay him money. That was how my brain twisted it, or it wasn't my brain, really, it was the enemy, but that was the warped sense of understanding that I gained from that. And I remember I had this dream one night, and God spoke to me in the dream, and he said, give, don't pay. You are my daughter. Why would I make you pay for my favor? And I really started to chew on it and think about it a lot, because I thought, yeah, I wouldn't make my kids pay for me being good to them. I wouldn't make them pay for that. So why would God do that to me? And then I started thinking about, okay, it's not that I have to pay in order for God to take care of me. God says he's going to take care of me no matter what, because he says I'm more valuable and more loved than the sparrows in the field, and he takes care of them. So maybe it's that I'm going to be taken care of anyway, no matter how much money's in my bank account. So everything that I have is extra that I'm able to give, because I can sow into every good work. That's what the Bible says. And so I really started to look at it that way, of I will be taken care of no matter what, because I'm God's daughter. So all of this money is extra. And I started to sow into every good work. Every time I saw a need, I would just meet it if I had the funding to do so, because that was what God promised. And that really started to unlock some of the blessings that were promised. And I was like, okay, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this, but I wasn't quite seeing the amount of blessing that I thought I would be. And so I asked God about it one day, and I said, why am I still like struggling a little bit with the budget if I'm going above and beyond with this giving? And he asked me, he said, if the amount you give is the amount that you had to live off of, what would your situation look like? And I thought it would not be good. I would not be able to live off of that. And so it was kind of like he issued this challenge to me to try and outgive him, to see if I could give enough to other people that there would not be enough for me, that I would not be taken care of. And because I love a good science experiment, I took on that challenge. And I started trying to outgive God. And I gave big. And I'm not saying this to brag, but I'm saying this to illustrate that you really, truly cannot give so much that God will not take care of you. And you're not paying for his favor. You're giving to other people out of the overflow that he's given you, because he's already going to take care of you no matter what. So all the money you have is just extra. That's what unlocks the blessings of God. That's the understanding that helped me unlock that flow that people talk about. And anyway, I just thought that might help somebody else too. Just something to think about.